All right. Good evening, everyone. It is 6 p.m. and I'm now calling the May 12th, 2025 regular meeting of the Clover Park School District Board of Directors to order. We will begin with a moment of silence to honor our military members and their families, and then it will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will start with public comment tonight. Just a few reminders, as I believe we have a few folks here for public comment. The Board of Directors welcomes public participation and civil engagement. We will hear public comment this evening for a maximum of 60 minutes. Please do not make remarks of a negative nature singling out specific employees other than the board and its secretary. If other folks are mentioned, we will just remind you to not state their names since they're not here to defend themselves. And we value each individual's opportunity to be a part of the public participation process. Participants are expected to follow board policies and procedures, which include civility and courtesy. Individuals who engage in hateful or offensive actions, including using profane language, will immediately be asked to leave the meeting or blocked from accessing the meeting via the Zoom platform. If you want to give up public comment, you may submit a comment card or enter your full name into the chat box. So if you are online, please make sure that you don't just do the raise hand feature. Please put your name in the chat box. You'll be given 3 minutes for public comment, and an individual may receive 1 deferment of time, making the total speaking time for any maximum speaking time for any individual 6 minutes. If you'd like a response, please provide your home address and phone number, and we will call on the community for public comment in the order received, and we will alternate between in-person and virtual. And if your time expires, you can send your comments to the superintendent's office and he will disperse them out to the board members. Please also state, when you're stating your name, please also state in which school district you reside in. So we will begin with Christina Kloss tonight in person.
I have not done this before, so hopefully I will speak fast. Hello, Superintendent Banner and members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity to advocate for the students in our district. My name is Christina Kloss, and I have been working at Lockburn Middle School in a variety of capacities since 2004, and I live here in this district right across the street. I have seen many people come and go at Lockburn, and there have probably been plenty of reasons why I should have come to the board sooner, but the staff at Lockburn have always worked very hard to resolve any problems that they have been given, and while often operating as a silo in this district, they continue to be a hardworking, dedicated staff. So today I don't come to the board with Lockburn issues, I come to the board with school district issues. I have coached girls volleyball at some level since 2004, and this year have been the girls varsity fast pitch coach, girls JV basketball coach, and now the girls varsity volleyball coach. So tonight I'm advocating for the athletes at Lockburn. We heard news of a potential switch in athletic seasons at the middle school level last summer. And as a reminder, Dr. Ruprecht announced that at the last board workshop. I started emailing as soon as I heard of this last August and have sent half a dozen follow-up emails since then. I have not received any responses. And yet, a vote to move seasons happened in February for the Seamount League, a league which technically doesn't exist because they haven't had any bylaws since 2015. I am not opposed to the athletic seasons changing. I can see a number of benefits for every school in our district except Lockburn. For the 20 years that I have been coaching at Lockburn, it never fails. We get on a bus, go to another location, even in our own district, and the students say, wow, look at this field, court, track. It's so much nicer than ours. Our students see a wide gap between what other schools in our district receive versus what they are currently receiving. Let's talk about how sports will look next year with the switch of seasons. In the fall, track and field, fast pitch, and baseball will all happen simultaneously. We currently have one field, one, for JV baseball, varsity fast pitch, and JV fast pitch, all on one current field. We have the potential for a second field. We used to have a second field, but it would take major district improvement to come in and make it workable. On top of this, there are no outfield fences, which means any deep fly balls land on or roll onto the track or hit spectators, as their starting line is our outfield. Now imagine a fast pitch game, a baseball game, and a track meet all happening at the same time. The district does not want to take on the responsibility for that kind of safety issue. Moving forward into the fall, boys soccer season has been moved into winter one season, starting the middle of November and ending at the end of January. Practices roughly from 4 to 5:30, well after sunset, and none of our fields have lights. Moving forward into winter two, girls basketball team continues to share one gym with the co-ed wrestling team, thus relegating both the JV and varsity girls squads to a total of 3 hoops and half a regular sized gym.
Sorry, the rules do require that we stop at 3 minutes. However, we'd love to hear your comments. So if you could provide those in writing, we'll all get a copy of them. Yeah, someone they're all staff, so I don't think, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's the way the rules. Yes, we will make sure we have on here. We will get back to you, but it will get dispersed to the board. Yes. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone on. If you are virtual and you are here for public comment, please put your name in the chat box. I do not believe we have any other, do we have any more in person or no other cards?
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate to move that we allow Christina to finish her statement?
It would, I see where you're coming from. It could create major problems down the road because this is something the board has agreed upon and we have stuck firm to regardless of the comments on the table. So if we make the exception one time, it would lead to making the exception for everyone and then the time limit wouldn't be applicable anymore.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not seeing anyone in virtual that is requesting public comment and there are no other public card or comment cards in person. So we do thank you for coming here and sharing your comments. So we will move to reports from the superintendent. There's no one there. Okay.
Thank you, Board. Oop, there we go. A fairly quick report this evening. I want to share that the OSPI and the State Board of Education, the Washington School Recognition Program, congratulated 4 of our schools. They were elementary schools for achievement and or growth. Beechwood Elementary was congratulated and awarded for achievement. Evergreen Elementary School for growth, Lake Louise Elementary School for growth, and Lakeview Hope Academy for growth. Last week was Certificated Staff Week. There were many activities that took place around the district. I think from the district office, we sent out a appreciative card showing our appreciation. Also, shout out to our local town center Starbucks who wanted to support staff and pulled me aside in the morning and said, can we provide some Joe to go or Joe's to go, little portable coffees? And so several donations were made last week. The last one they handed to me and I I drove over and walked into Park Lodge Elementary School. Unfortunately, not all of our schools were able to benefit from that, but it was nice that a community partner reached out to support during teacher or certificated staff appreciation week. On April 30th, our Human Resources Department took a team to the Washington Educator Fair at the Tacoma Convention Center, where they encountered 100 folks with interest.
They conducted 20 interviews. They made 6 job offers and 4 offers were accepted. 3 of those were from special education teachers, which, as we know, is a pretty hard position to fill. Graduations are scheduled for June 5th and 6th. These dates are in all of your calendars. And if you have any questions about any of the dates or processes, just give me a call. Celebration, our students from Thomas Middle School and Harrison Prep participated in the Olympia Youth and Government mock legislative sessions on May 7th through 9th. Students prepared in their social studies classes and in partnership with the YMCA to learn about the legislative process. While they were down in Olympia, they shared their bills in committee sessions and they moved forward to the Senate and House chambers for further debate. Several student mock bills came to the governor's desk for his signature. Our students and staff had a really good experience. They were awarded or recognized as the outstanding delegation. Out in the community on April 26th, we had volunteers working with the city and various, I think we were actually with the Kiwanis at Fort Steilacoom Park for Parks Appreciation Day, where a lot of beauty bark was shoveled and spread. And recently, this past weekend on May 10th, we worked with at the South Sound Wildlife Cleanup event, and that is with Mr. Billingsley from the Clover Park Rotary. Does that twice a year, and we get out there and just kind of help beautify and do some tasks out there to keep the place cleaned up. And that concludes my report for this evening.
All right, thank you. All right, and we will move on to the consent agenda. Just as a reminder to the community, the board has had an opportunity to review these items with the superintendent. Is there a motion to approve items 25-109 through 25-124 from the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Director Kim, is there
Second.
seconded by Director Lowry, and we'll just proceed right to the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed say nay, and the motion passes unanimously. Now we'll move on to individual action items. Our first individual action item is number 25-125, authorization for contract with Parent Square. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Director Kim,
I'll second.
seconded by Director Caldwell. Superintendent Banner, can you speak to this?
Yes, this resolution is a response to the board's direction to the district to upgrade the district's website. The district conducted a review of its existing communication platforms and determined that we would benefit from the consolidation of our communication systems into one platform. After reviewing several platforms, the district identified Parent Square as the most advantageous solution with respect to communication, integration, security, ease of use, and cost effectiveness. Approval of this resolution authorizes the district to contract with Parent Square for the services outlined in the resolution for the cost not to exceed $100,100. And I recommend approval of this action.
Questions or?
Yes, I have a question. So the current system that we're on, how much do we pay for that?
Ooh, I think it's around 50.
Okay, so the new cost would only be about $50,000.
Yes, additional cost. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. And the motion passes unanimously. We'll now move to individual action item number 25-126, contract award for bid CP 2533 ASC parking lot resurfacing. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Moved by Director Lowry. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Director Kim. Superintendent Banner, can you speak to this?
Yes, the capital projects and maintenance and operations teams have determined the need for the parking lot at the ASC site to be resurfaced. The capital projects team worked with a civil engineer firm to provide a defined scope of work and design drawings for the purpose of soliciting contractors. The purchasing department performed an invitation to bid and accepted reviewed submissions in accordance with RCW 28A.335.190, whereby Valley Asphalt LLC was selected to conduct the work. This resolution authorizes the district to contract with Valley Asphalt LLC for a total approved construction budget of $401,578.74, which includes tax and contingency. And I recommend approval of this action item.
Are there any questions?
Yes, just for clarification, where is the auxiliary service center?
So it's on the corner of Lakewood Drive and Fort Steilacoom. Oh, Steilacoom Drive, not Fort Steilacoom. Where the bus barn?
Oh, no, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Everybody in the public knew what we were talking about.
Over where you see the yellow buses.
Okay, thank
Right
you.
down the road from the police station and the YMCA.
And for Heroes. And Harrison,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. And the motion passes unanimously. Oh, yeah. I'm just a little bit late here, but if you haven't already noticed, Director Thomas is excused tonight, so almost done with the meeting, but we made it. Hopefully he's off somewhere sunny. I don't know, but hopefully he's enjoying his time off. All right, that concludes our individual action items, and we will move to matters for discussion. So just as a reminder, there are multiple first readings for the board to review. The first readings will be added to the May 27th board workshop agenda, so we can have open discussion there if you want to chat about anything on those first readings. And we will then now do board reports. So Director Kim, if you want to start.
I had the opportunity to attend the employee recognition event that happened right before this, where we honored we honored way more than three employees. We honored a lot of amazing certificated, classified, and administrative employees. And it was just lovely to see all of not only that the employees were there, but the support around them from their school teams to their families. And just I appreciated the speed of the ceremony, how it kept moving. And it allowed for everybody to be honored without taking 3 hours. So thank you very much for that event.
I have nothing to report.
I have, thank you. I was able to attend the DA3 meeting. I don't really remember what DA stands for, but I'm thinking district area. Thank you. I'm still new to the board. And it was really neat to see the different boards that came. They were, I think, approximately 6 tables, and some boards had a full contingency, and it was really neat to see how they were collaborating and talking about things. And it's one of the things I would hope that we get to do in the future is do some planning together and come together on issues. And then I did have a visit to Lakes High School where Mr. Kurtz, the principal, is that correct, Mr. Kurtz? I want to make sure okay. He took us on a great tour of Lakes High School. And if you didn't know this about me, is I graduated from Lakes High School in 1988. And since that time, Lakes High School has been rebuilt. And my children, though, graduated from the current building. The only building that is still there used to be the choir and band room, but now it's the JR OTC. And so that was really interesting as we walked up to that. And I said, isn't this? And Mr. Banner said, yes, this is the only building still standing. That was part of the original school. But I got to go on, when we first walked in, I noticed coming in through the main office that there was beautiful art on the walls. And so, of course, I just asked questions because that's what I do. And it kind of led into where we ended up going, actually. And we headed over to the arts wing because like I said, the artwork was just fantastic. And I got to go in and see a classroom that is unique. And the teacher there has been there for a long, long time. And one of the projects that her students do is to create tables with, I'm not an art person, sorry, tiles that have been broken, and then they put it into patterns on the table, and they basically create a table for their family, which was really amazing. There were some interesting bubble figures lining the hall of students or things that they made up, perhaps an alien or a very small person. We got to go and see a calculus class. Full disclosure, I didn't go to calculus. I decided in 11th grade that I just wanted to stop at math analysis too. But these kids in this room were amazing. They were each standing basically with a partner on whiteboards, and they were solving an equation, which they were going to be faced with later on an AP exam. And so watching the students talk to each other and interact, it was really neat. It wasn't just sit and get. They really were talking to each other and learning from each other. And I think one of the comments was, "How'd you get that?" You know, how kids are. And then they had to explain themselves, even though it was the same prompt. So it was really, really great. So that's all. Thank you.
That reminds me, I can't remember if it was this year or last year. Is the art show that Lakes puts on annual?
It's every year. And so it will be happening in a few weeks. And I'm just looking, I think it's the same. Well, we've been touching base because it's the same evening as the Harrison Prep Senior Awards Night. So we'll have to do some divide and conquer that evening. So from 5:30 to, yeah, so May 20th. Yeah.
Because that was fabulous last year. If you haven't attended, you really should.
Yeah, it's amazing, actually, the work that it was last year, the year that they did it off a lot of their phone cameras, the pictures that they were taking, and it's always, every year, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So it should be in your calendars. And like I said, we'll have to do some dividing and conquering because it is the HP Awards night. It happens.
All right, and for my report, I did go to Thomas Middle School, which was fun because I actually hadn't been since it was under construction. I did a few visits there when it was under construction. So it was fun to see the kids in the classroom and using the amazing facility that was built. We went into some math classes. As Superintendent Banner mentioned, the students went to Olympia for the legislative, like
Yeah, we
the
saw the
mock
prep.
legislative session. And we saw the prep, and it was actually, they were making very good arguments, and I was very impressed. They were very serious about it. And the YMCA was in to help, right? Wasn't that
It's the
Yeah.
Youth and Government Program
Yeah.
associated partnership with the
Yeah.
YMCA.
very cool to see they were taking it, very seriously. And I hope they had a great time when they went down to do the real deal. Some kids were on a field trip. It was a little quieter than normal. And then there was a lot of students that they were learning about stormwater, I believe, and how it affected fish and other wildlife, which I hear about stormwater about 1,000 times a day from my husband's job, and I try to tune it out. But it was very interesting to see them learning about it and how it actually, maybe I'll be able to relate to my husband's job a little bit more. I'm not really sure, but I learned quite a bit when I was in there for just a few minutes, and it's, good to see how different things affect the fish and other wildlife in the creeks. And I'm going to stop talking before I just am totally wrong, because that's out of my area of expertise. But it was, once again, an outside partnership came in, I think, to talk about that. So it's cool to see the different community groups coming in and out of the schools to help, teach our students. And let's see, I went to the Employee of the Year celebration. It's always fun to hand out the certificates and then find out who wins. It's a fun event every year. We have a lot of deserving and hardworking employees in our district, and it is always hard to pick just 3. So I'm so glad that's not me that has to pick who wins. So congratulations to all of our employees of the year. And then last but not least, you probably saw that my name is not on the filing for any sort of election this coming August. So my time is coming to an end. So I have 7 months here. It's been a joyous and wonderful, for the most part, 7.5 years. So I look forward to finishing it out and passing it off to someone else and leaving on my own time. So yeah, I'll make sure that we can transition, the responsibilities somehow. So yeah. Other than that, that concludes my report. And we do have an executive session tonight for about 20 minutes is all. So kind of a short meeting tonight. So we'll be back in 20 minutes from executive session for adjournment. Oh, I forgot to say, it's to discuss matters related to a complaint against an employee. Yes, we'll do a bathroom break for 5 minutes and then go into the 20-minute session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. All right, it is 6:53 and we are back from executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Moved by Director Lowry, seconded by Director Caldwell. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.